Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is that applause. Oh, it died on us. Okay. Welcome to the show. You're watching 726 right here in Harrison, Arkansas, and this is not Ann Lemley. This is my wife, Kelly Reynolds. She is brave today. She's taking over the spot. I asked her last night, and she goes, "Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, this is my third time filling in for your other wives.
My
and
TV
today
wives.
I'm
yeah.
filling in for the awesome Ann Lemley.
And where is Ann, do you know?
She is in Eureka Springs. She is covering some new open habitats at Turpentine Creek.
Do you know anything about that
Serval.
information? I mean, do you know anything about the habitats over there? I know we know about Turpentine
I
Creek.
know that they've been slowly getting the animals from, when they first started, they were in smaller enclosures, and they've slowly been transitioning all the lions and tigers and bears to
Literally.
much larger, more normal habitats.
Well, if you know the history of Turpentine Creek, they started off kind of in their backyard, more or
Really?
less.
Yeah.
And they've slowly have built, and they've got an awesome facility. When's the last time you've been there? We actually probably should go over there.
We should. It's been a couple of years.
But
And
they've
they
got
still
a,
had
yeah.
they still had some of the lions in the smaller habitats.
Uh-huh.
So I haven't been there since
Yeah.
they've gotten them all to the larger habitats.
Well, Anna's over there right now as we speak, and she's getting some photos, and she's going to come in later this afternoon or tomorrow, and we're going to end the show with that segment. So, but we do have a good show for you. We'll go down the list of guests here in just a few minutes, but we just got back from a 10-day, and I was going to use the word grueling, but it really wasn't. It was kind of therapeutic.
It was a long, 10 days is a bit long when you normally think of a family vacation. It's a week, but we took 10 days.
But you don't mind being in the car.
I don't.
And I don't mind being in the car, and we went to...
And I don't have to stop every 5 minutes to,
for the restroom. Yeah, we had a good time. And we actually have some photos we're going to look at.
We're going to share them with you.
And this was kind of this was our first stop. We actually took 2 days to get to Arizona, Kelly and I did, and we went to pick up
My daughter.
your daughter, Sydney, which is right there on the left. And the first stop was...
Grand Canyon,
And
which you have never seen before.
I had never seen the Grand Canyon, and it was kind of... Can you go back to the first photo again? When we got there, it was raining and snowing, and it was cloudy, overcast. And of course, when you get up in the mountains, you don't expect...
All kinds of weather is possible.
Yeah, and we really didn't think it was going to clear out. But as soon as we got there, we walked from the parking lot to this, and it miraculously blew away.
So what'd you think?
It was kind of like a weak-kneed moment.
It's not the same as seeing it on television.
No,
is
it's
it?
not. It's vast, and this photo
Right.
does not really do anything for the Grand Canyon. But this photo I took of a formation close to the viewing area, and then you see the vastness away,
Behind
and it was awesome taking the picture. But when you take the picture, you go, it really doesn't do it justice.
Right.
So.
You're absolutely right.
So we went from there to Monument Valley. I don't know if we have any photos of that. Whatever the next one. Yes.
There it is.
And
I think I took that photo.
yeah,
I think
awesome.
it was me.
I'm sure you took a lot of photos, but it doesn't really. And this is right on the side of the road, so I mean, this kind of gives you an idea if you ever take a vacation like this, how up close and personal you can get with some of the scenery.
Right.
But and then we went from here to actually we're driving up. I don't know if the next photo shows or not. Next photo. Yes. We were driving away. We weren't driving toward this formation. We were driving away from Monument Valley, and all these people were stopped alongside there and go, "What are they taking a picture of?"
And then we looked in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, this is the scene where
He's running down the road.
Yep, he's running up the road, and he decides to stop, and he says, "I'm tired," and he just turns around and goes on. But this is that iconic scene from the movie. And this is more Monument Valley. And then we moved to, where do we go?
Arches National
The
Park.
Arches National Park in Utah.
Northern Utah.
Yeah. So next scene. There we go. Oh, there we are. We do the customary I'm here in another state photo.
You can see by our clothes that was the same day.
Yeah.
Later the same day.
Yeah. This is all in one day. And you can do this. And if anybody wants details on how to take a 10-day road trip and see 10 states,
Yeah, we went through 10 states, and 10 days, 10 states, and it sounds a bit hectic, but it really wasn't. And it was eventful the entire trip. Just the itinerary, the driving, you saw beautiful stuff every day.
and then we get to South Dakota, and the first thing on the list was Crazy Horse. And this is kind of a bittersweet thing because the last time I saw this was about 20 years ago, and they haven't done any work at all.
Right.
You would think that they would have some kind of progress, but as you see, if you see in the lower right-hand corner there, the horse is painted on the on the rock there, but
It's not carved out yet.
no, and it's I hate to say it's a place to pay money to go see, and there's no work being done.
Oh, yes, that's true, and it's done entirely with donation money.
Yeah, no government money. And then we stopped off at
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. That was anticlimactic. A lot of these places that you go to see, like the Grand Canyon and Mount Rushmore, it's basically, you're there, right? But a photo is going to just do just as much because you can't really get up close and personal. Well, you can't go on top,
Right.
and you can't get any closer than the viewing area.
Right.
And the day that we went, the museum was closed, so
Which tells you about the history and
Yeah.
how it was built, and
they have actual drill bits and paraphernalia from the actual drilling days back in the 30s, and all that was not open.
they
And it
did
was
have a gentleman there who actually worked
Yep.
on Mount Rushmore. He was signing a book that he wrote,
wish
which was
that
kind
would-
of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Wish we had taken a moment to talk to him.
Yeah, we didn't. That's on our next 10-day
Sure.
road trip. You want to talk about this?
This was exciting. One of our favorite movies is Dances with Wolves, and of course, being in we stayed in Wyoming, right on the South Dakota-Wyoming border, and a lot of the filming locations for the movie Dances of Wolves with Wolves is where we stayed. So we kind of figured out filming locations and took a day maybe and drove around. And this site here was a scene toward the end of the movie called the Winter Camp. And it's been 30 years since
Yeah.
that movie was filmed, so things look a little bit different, but we were pretty excited to be able to find this spot.
Yeah. If you see the trees behind, what, poplar trees or what?
Aspen trees.
Aspen trees behind there, that is the very end of the movie where the winter camp for
John Dunbar.
John Dunbar and his
his
family.
family.
Yeah, his family. And that's where they put the teepees and everything. Anyway, if you watch the movie, you see basically what you see there. Okay?
Of course, you can't go to Custer National Park and not see bison.
Actually, this was in in the
Actually,
Badlands.
that's right. You're right. We did see.
We did see some in Custer Park, but there wasn't that many. But anyway, we were able to drive right up
Yeah.
and see
You can
these.
see the mirror on the side of the picture there. I didn't want a chance getting out of the car since they can go from like 0 to 30 miles an hour in 3 seconds.
Yeah, that buffalo there was about 6 foot tall.
And about 2,000 pounds.
Yeah. There's some more pictures of the Badlands.
Yeah, that was pretty spectacular. I could go back there.
Yeah.
The colors were gorgeous. Of course, we were there in the middle of the day, and I bet you it's even more gorgeous at
Yeah.
sunset.
It's funny that there's like 30-some miles that you can drive through. And this is Devil's Tower up in Montana,
No, Wyoming.
or Wyoming, sorry. And one of those other places that you want to go see, and then when you see it, you go, oh, okay, what do you do? There's a,
Very bizarre.
yeah, it's a bizarre
It's
thing.
just out there in the middle of nothing. And you for miles, you can see it before you actually get to it. And it's just the strangest thing.
And if you look at the smallest spot that you can find on that formation, that would probably half of what a person would be. I mean, this thing is
monumental.
huge. Yeah, yeah. Anyway. And then we got to see some longhorn, what are they called?
Those are longhorn sheep.
Yeah.
We saw mountain goats and longhorn sheep. I'm not sure if they're the same thing or not. I
don't
don't
know.
think so. But it was pretty exciting to get to see them. We looked for them the entire trip and saw them
There we go.
finally toward the end.
And I think that was probably it, but that was our vacation. We had a good time, and it was not grueling. It was very relaxing. We spent probably, I think we spent at the most in the car 9 hours driving.
Yeah.
No more than 10 hours a day, and sometimes 4 or 5 hours. And then when we got to our destination in South Dakota, we stayed at a motel for what, 4 days? And it's a very
Little mom and pop hotel in a small town without even a stoplight.
It was in
Newcastle, Wyoming.
Wyoming. We stayed there at the, I forget the name
Sage
of it.
Hotel.
Sage Hotel. Very
Sage
nice.
Motel.
Motel.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Very reasonable, and we stayed there, and it was a great place to jump off and do day trips throughout the day. So, I mean, if you're interested in that, we can surely recommend that place
Sure,
and some
road
of the
trip.
places we went, and we had a great time.
Yep.
Great time. All right. Well, I think that's enough for us. Would you like to go down the list of guests that are going to be on the show today?
Sure. First up, we have Emily Powers and Rhonda Mailer. They're going to be here talking about Harvest Homecoming. Then we will have Andrew Underwood he's going to be here talking about the first annual Harrison Auto Fest and Midnight Moonshine Run. I'm really interested in that moonshine run thing. And then lastly but not least, we have Wanda Massengale. She is here with the Pet of the Week from Ozark Humane Society. So stick with us and we'll be
Yep.
right back.